watched partial wars with vehicles diving on top of other vehicles from the coast right here, halfway between Long Beach and Catalina Island.
Oh, sure.
4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. 2008, 2009, both. Okay? Watched them both.
One of my witnesses was killed. He was the guy who ran iPod.org. It's a website that was out there, and he had set up a camera on his balcony and filmed wars at night over the skies in LA and off the coast.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And eventually they killed him.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's the Dracos or whoever that killed him, right?
Yes.
So let me just ask you, do you feel that you're psychic enough to look at someone and know if they're Draco or not, or reptilian and shapeshifted?
I have said that I don't have that ability. I at times pick it up.
Right.
Okay? But I don't have that expertise.
Okay.
But I can, for some reason, I know that SOB that was right down the hallway, right here when we came in, could be a problem.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know why he was down the hall. We sort of were on the run to get in here because you wanted to get started.
Sure.
I saw him.
Okay. That's great.
And I don't know what that was.
Yeah. No.
He knew you were here.
Yes. Oh, come on. We're so surveilled. It's crazy.
Yeah. No.
Well, I want to talk about AI as well. And I don't know if we're completely done with this reverse aging idea.
Well, I think it's far enough to say that that's real.
Yes.
That within supposedly less than 24 months, that program is going to be available to some people. Now, if you have enough money and if you have enough facilities, maybe you can get on the list first. Okay? I don't know how that's going to work.
Right. Well, there's also a spiritual component to all of this that we haven't really dealt with yet. But I also, I have so many questions, and I know that you probably have a few. So I want to give you some time. So at a certain point, we got to manage our time.
Okay.
So one last question in regard to this whole sort of scenario in, Draco, reptilians, etc. Mark Richards talks about the raptors as being a group of reptilians that went off planet after the dinosaurs. That when they said that dinosaurs went extinct, they didn't actually go extinct, but they're a certain group of them, from what I understand, went underground and stayed here, and then a certain group actually left the planet, and they're called the raptors. Have you ever heard about the raptors?
I've only heard what you've just said. Okay,
and that they have aligned themselves now with our Navy and Air Force. They're closest to the Air Force, and that they're working with us because their queen was basically told, in essence, that their trajectory of their race would be more positive if they align themselves with humans in a positive way instead of continuing to eat us.
Okay, I guess I don't know that. I'm not familiar enough with it.
But you do know that reptilians and Draco, the blood sacrifices, the whole Luciferian thing, the kids being killed and eaten. I mean, that humans have been eaten and taken off planet, et cetera, and used for slaves in other colonies, etc.
I hate to say that, but that's far worse than what you've just said.
It's far worse.
Yes, far worse.
Far worse, yeah.
And that the whole blood situation is it's unbelievable, and
right.
I don't know how we say that to the public. I don't know how.
Well,
wait a minute, just a second. On that part of this whole subject, to me, if we get into that, and I know all about it, okay,
all right,
far more than you know.
Sure,
all right?
I'm sure.
When we get into that, if we release it, 70–80% of everybody that listens to your program is going to say, you're smoking pot. I don't believe that, and I don't believe anything you people talk about on extraterrestrial. And it's going to kill what disclosure is trying to do. That's my opinion.
But you know the pedophilia is starting to be exposed everywhere. You know that much is coming
Oh,
out.
yeah. But you know the part that I don't want to talk about.
I hear you.
Okay?
Yeah. Saying as much as you said right now is actually great.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you basically are, anyone who's hearing everything else you say is going to have to come to home with this. And if they want to know more, it's out there. It's more and more, it's out there.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to speak for Bob, but Bob Wood, Dr. Wood, who's worked with me on my book, okay?
Yes.
He's a genius. If we were in the conference room and we were talking and there was a big table there, he would have his fist like this and he would slam that table. I want every GD thing exposed. I want it all
Good
out.
for him. That's lovely to hear.
And I have to say, I'm having a hard time disagreeing with him, but
Well, we can do another interview on that subject so that, you know, this one, it goes out, because I know you really want this information out. You want people to start to wake up, and we don't want to turn them off to any...
we don't want, you just said
degree.
it, we don't want them to be turned off. We don't want them to not believe what's being said, okay?
I know, but
and this,
yeah, it's...
and some, we can get into it partially, but I'm saying, I personally don't want to be involved in doing what Bob wants to do. It's too heavy. I think it's going to really hurt getting more people to get involved in this subject. Okay, they're going to say that Bill Tompkins is smoking pot. I don't believe one damn word. I don't want to hear about any of this. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it.
I understand. Let me say, because I have interviewed people about these subjects and dealt with this and Mark Richards is very open about it.
Yeah.
Interestingly, but he's in prison, and so they think he's got plausible deniability. Says no one's going to believe someone who's in prison. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's how they allow that to happen. But I do want to say my philosophy on this, which is humans are not protecting themselves. They're not protected. And so if you don't warn them, you're culpable. The next time somebody gets snatched and eaten or taken away, or their child, and I'm more concerned about the children, obviously, than anything else.
That's
you know.
that's it. Well, that's what.
And so that's my statement. My statement is, I care about the children, and I want to protect the children. How can you protect a child? You must tell them. You must tell their parents what's happening, what's really going on this planet. And it's about time we humans are able to protect ourselves. There's a lot of New Agers out there who want nothing but to believe that there's ETs, definitely, but they're all hearts and flowers and good guys.
Right. Yes.
And this is such a dangerous thing to put out there, because again, you get humans that will not be able to protect themselves.
That's
and also not understand. Some people get the wrong idea about Camelot, but I'm actually in favor of the military. I know it sounds crazy, but I actually understand that we have a lot of military that are putting their lives on the line.
Yes.
In a daily basis to protect humans that have absolutely no idea that they're in danger.
You're right. Absolutely. I agree.
And that's got to change.
Yeah, it's got to change.
Yeah. So, I realize that people have no idea what a brave man you are.
Oh.
You are, I just wanted this statement made on my interview here, that the courage that it takes to actually do what you're doing right now is phenomenal. Really it is. See, I can get away with this because I'm a journalist and I can say anything and people will say, she's crazy, and just not listen. But someone with your stature, with your reputation and your documentation and where you were and where you come from and all of that, this is substantial. I don't think people can ignore you. I don't think they can.
Well, I sure hope they don't, because frankly, we need help.
Yeah.
We need everybody involved in this. That's not a lie. We need help.
Yes, absolutely. So at this moment, what I want to do is I'm going to get back to AI at a certain point, but I want Michael to ask any questions he's burning questions that you have right now.
Okay, that's fine. Bill, let's switch gears here, but we're still on the same topic of naval programs. What was the primary mission of the 1946 naval program known as Operation High Jump, and what really happened?
Very interesting. Essentially, the World War II had ended. We didn't win. It's just sort of ended. And the Navy had been involved with the German facilities in Antarctica and the Draco reptilian facilities in caverns in the Antarctica. And this program was well accepted. And then when Paperclip took place, this is where many of the German elite technical people left Germany and went to their facilities in Antarctica. Some of them went to Russia, some went to England, and a large number of them, von Braun and Dr. Debus and their people, came to the United States. So there's an admiral called Admiral Nimitz, and he got with another Navy admiral, and they formed the largest U.S. Navy battle group that we had ever had, with the number of ships and the number of facilities, personnel. There was over 400 airplanes involved. Many of them were enormous flying boats, PB-3s, TBFs, which were all in this battle group that went to our South Pole to clean up the mess down there, okay? There are large tunnels underneath the water all around Antarctica where the Germans, with very, very large truck submarines, had been taking facilities from Germany to Antarctica, the facilities had in Antarctica. So everybody said, we got Paperclip here in the United States, but you don't realize that 60, 70%, even slave labor personnel, were put in these submarines and taken back to Antarctica through these big tunnels to very large facilities. So yes, there were extraterrestrial UFOs there too, and there were some production German UFOs also. So when we got within what you would call battle range of Antarctica, we had already flown half of our aircraft to the other side of Antarctica with the facilities to enter the mainland from the other side. We were going to come in from essentially the Pacific side. So UFOs came up out of the ocean at both sides. They eliminated every aircraft, including all of the helicopters, flying boats. Every aircraft we had were eliminated in about 20 minutes. we had already started operations, landing type operations. And those ships and all those personnel were sunk. They ended up going to the bottom of the ocean off of the coast. So Admiral Byrd and Admiral Nimitz, with the tail between their legs, took off back to the United States as fast as they could go, okay? And never went back. A little bit like going to the moon and never coming back, okay? So that mission obviously failed to do any damage because they were supposed to go out there, pick up a bunch of prisoners, bring them back, and then blow up all of the facilities with this massive U.S. Navy battle group. And we didn't do that. We came back and we're not going to do that again. I think that basically says what the mission was and what happened, okay? And essentially, you haven't gone back again since, and you probably never will. So you don't have the capability to fight the Draco reptilian technical capabilities.
But there are people going there.
Yes.
There are military going there.
Yes.
And they have also a telescope there that's supposed to be specially stationed to look for the incoming of Planet X or Nibiru or whatever.
Well, they have a facility there like you have, your Air Force has at the Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska. There's a picture, a drawing that I made in the front of the book where it shows the command center, which is not a command center. What it is, it's a receiving center for information in this part of the galaxy.
Right.
For us. And then you have a separate command center that the Air Force has in that big mountain range. But the one we're talking about is like the Dracos have that the SS still uses, which is in Antarctica, and it's a controlling area of incoming vehicles that are not German or primarily not reptilian Draco type facilities. They could be Nordic, and they don't want the Nordics there. So that telescope facility also has much greater capability than any telescope that we have, and we just had in the last couple of 3 months found out that there are 2 trillion galaxies out there. Wow. So we got better capability as far as we're concerned. The ones that the Draco reptilian have in Antarctica is much bigger than that. Wow.
Okay, but how is it that the humans are they do go down there? Are you saying that the ones that are allowed down there are Draco or reptilian, or are you saying that they allow them to come and go because that's some kind of treaty or arrangement?
Well, it's just a arrangement between what was left of the SS and the people that are working in Germany on extraterrestrial vehicles. They have them in production. Still. Today. And you went down there to clean that up, and you didn't win that battle. So there's still communication with even humans from here to Antarctica, and you have Draco reptilian guys running your governments of every country on your planet.
Every government. There you go.
Wow.
That's quite a statement. Does that answer your question?
I'm sorry. It's not what we want to hear.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Okay, everyone who watches this is going to want me to ask you about Nibiru, the return of Nibiru, Marduk. You know who Marduk is? and Anu and all of that. These are the head Anunnaki. Do you think that are you able to talk about a return of a planet, or is it a planetoid? Is it a, Dyson sphere?
I'm going to have to say, I'm not familiar enough, other than the title, with that operation. So, frankly, I can't help.
Okay.
That's not my area.
All right.
And I know about it, but I know of it.
Okay, have you been told, let me ask you this, Mark Richards says we're about to start Earth changes in a sort of a more major way. What I notice about Earth changes is a lot of times they're orchestrated and they're created by, by men or Dracos or reptilians, and that they're supposed to start here at, the beginning of 2017. And Camelot was always told I've been doing this for over 10 years, that 2017 was sort of the kickoff date for a lot of so-called Earth changes. So
Okay.
have you heard that?
Let me talk a little bit about a different involvement of that.
All right.
Okay. I had a cousin, is Walter Handon, in our family here, who was 3 years older than me, about the same age as my brother. And after, say, 1933 time period, we were just kids living in Hollywood. Walter's house was, he was the only child. His dad worked for the railroad and didn't make much money. And so they rented a house in Hollywood, which is what we did. Nobody had any money. And so they didn't have any landscaping in the front or the back of the yard. So we kids would, in the afternoon, after school, we'd get together and dig holes in the dirt in the backyard. And
Now, you told this story on Walter Noasad's interview, right?
Yes.
So that's where you're going with this. So to save some time, can we cut to the chase a little further and ask people to watch Walter's to get more of this? But you can sketch it out, but don't go as in much detail as you did with Walter.
Okay. So my cousin Walter became a geophysicist, astrophysicist, was later Dean of Texas M down in Houston. One of the 5 top astrophysicists, I guess, in the country. And so he continued to come to California, and he would stay with us. We were living in San Fernando Valley, and I was working at TRW, and he was a consultant to TRW. And so TRW had astronomy and every other technical field going, with many different sub-laboratories working on it. And so we were very, very aware of the problems geologically with planet Earth. And this gets into not just Noah's problem, where he had the flood and he took care of it quite well, but there had been 7 floods since Noah's flood, and one of those was really bad. But what takes place here, and it's a little hard to visualize, way back, the planet only had 1 continent. And as we know, those continents, well, the planet was trying to fix its uneven rotation. So the planet separated into different continents. So what's taking place since then on every so many years since that took place